Hello coaches, welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach Breakdown. This week we are looking at back three build-ups, why you might need to look at changing the shape of the back three when you're building up, and then some ideas around how to build up, stay true to your principles and challenge the opponent to react in different types of ways. If you want the breakdown and the descriptions for these build-ups, you can get them for free on the link below. Plus, we are going to do a back three webinar with the best in the business. Bernat Mosquera is going to come on and go through the back three system with us, how to coach it, how to get your principles right, how to get the detail right. You've probably seen him on the podcast with us. We've done a couple with him in the last couple of months and he is unbelievable. So please go ahead, reserve your place below. February 3rd, Modern Soccer Coach back three webinar with Bernat Mosquera. Cannot wait for that. Please join us. Sign up on the link below. Before we start, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Here we go. Back three ideas. Okay, so we always start these exercises and these breakdowns with the why. Why do you need different shapes and variations in your back three build? Well, quite simply, if you keep the back three as they are and you keep them in a straight line, they are probably going to be pressed really aggressively by the opponent, because a horizontal pass is usually one of the biggest triggers for pressing teams. And when you play that pass in a back three system, you don't have any depth beyond the goalkeeper. And if you lose the ball or you make a mistake or the opponents do a great job of winning the ball back, they're going directly to the goal. So to provide angles of support, provide different pictures, and to ask challenging questions of the opponent's press, you need some variations. The more variations you have that are aligned with your principles, the harder you're going to be to defend against, the quicker you're going to get out of pressing situations, and the better chance you have of getting into advanced areas, creating overloads, and getting attacking opportunities. Here we go, 3 ideas. All right, so the first one is a shape where you move your back three across to one side. You overload one side. You've got the natural back four type picture with the 2 centre backs. The third centre back adds another number to one of the wide channels, which allows you then to manipulate the numbers in that space. You can offset marking systems if they are man-to-man preference from the opposition, and you might get access to inside channels, but you can also use your extra numbers to not only support the ball but support players underneath and add attackers into that last line. So when you play forward and you have the support underneath, it can add a really interesting picture to the attack. So again, you've got the depth option of the centre backs, the 2 centre backs, and the third one, depending on what you want to do with the wing back. You can push the wing back forward, you can drop the 7 in like the clip we just showed, or you can drop the wing back a little bit further in, put the 7 a little further wide. Gives you different pictures and also gives you good support out there. So if you struggle to solve it, you have the numbers. This next picture is something we've seen from Manchester United this season already, with Ruben and Amorim coming in, where the centre defender on the back three moves forward into the midfield line. So now you really ask questions of the opposition press, and you can free up one of the wide centre backs to either drive forward with the ball or creates a passing lane. Again, that central overload a little bit higher up allows support underneath for an up, back and through, and allows you to put those forwards and those wing backs higher rather than using them as supporting options to break the press. And I think that's where this type of shape becomes really interesting, is that you're using defenders in higher lines, whereas in the back three you have that initial overload maybe, but sometimes that overload isn't needed and sometimes it attracts more pressure. That's why I like this. Bumping the central defender a little bit higher also gives you that security that if you lose possession, you do have that support underneath, where you have the management of the counter attack from the opposition if it happens. Alright coaches, before we show the third idea, I hope you're enjoying this breakdown, back three builds up. If you want more back three information, please join us on February 3rd for a big webinar we're doing, coaching the back three and establishing the principles in and out of possession with Bernat Mosquera. Massive webinar we are doing. Please join us. If you miss the live event and you register, you will get a replay sent to you directly to your email. So sign up below, modernsoccercoach.com. Back three webinar with Bernat Mosquera. I'll do a bit as well, so we'll have a great dialogue around how to coach the back three, different pictures. Bernat's background, obviously in Spain, but also his work in China and his work in Austria. I think he's going to have some really good ideas on some shapes, not just in the build, but also in the attack and also in the press as well. Cannot wait. Please join us February 3rd. Reserve your spot below. And then the third one is a little variation of the one we just saw, but instead of the middle centre back going into the next line, it's the wide centre back. So you're inverting one of your back three, your wide defenders, which is really interesting because again, it challenges. You've got more width now. Again, with those two centre backs, you've got those angles, and it asks the question of the opponent where they're going to get that extra number to deal with that overload, and again can open up space for centre backs to carry it. And what I love about it is this picture here, what it creates. It means that you don't have to use wing backs to go low. You don't have to bring centre midfielders low. You can bring, in this case, 5 attacking players into the opponent's back four, and now you've got space and you've got numbers, and it gives you some really good opportunities. As well as that, it gives you the stability underneath the ball. If its possession is lost, gets you good shape as well. All right, coaches, so there you have it. Just some ideas around building with a back three. We have seen a number of back threes come into fashion over the last couple of years. There's so many different ways to play it. Even at the minute with Manchester United and their new manager, Ruben Amorim, under intense criticism 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden on Monday Night Football last night, Jamie Carragher is doing a breakdown of how their 3-4-3 caused so many problems to Liverpool's back four system. So really interesting. I think the more variations you have that are consistent with your principles is going to be really beneficial for you, because like I said at the start, it offsets the opponent's press. It asks the opponents to potentially add one more player in their press where they don't want to give that overload up as early as possible. So in doing that, that number is going to have to come from somewhere, usually in their back four. And then when you do that, you can either pin teams back, or you can create overloads, or you can create isolations. And that's typically the name of the game for possession-based teams. How you coach that and how you facilitate that in your training environment, we are going to discuss that with Bernat Mosquera in the Modern Soccer Coach webinar, the back three webinar we're going to do on February 3rd. Please don't miss it. If you're a fan of the back three and you want more ideas, some of them may just be, I'll take some of that, I'll take some of that, I can tweak a bit of that. I think that's what coaching's all about. So please join us February 3rd, MSC back three webinar with Bernat Mosquera. The link is below. We cannot wait for it. So please join us. Thanks so much for the support. Before you leave, please like, please subscribe. If you want more back three work on here as well, please like, please make sure you follow the work. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.